Hi. Hi,
Hey.
everybody. Oh my goodness, that was kind of fun just to be like, what buttons am I pressing? What am I doing? And not like I haven't done this before. Uh, let's see. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm got to get used to saying Saturday because we were on Wednesdays, but now we're on Saturdays. And come on in, guys. Say hello. Welcome to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I just want to make sure that we're on YouTube because that's always a little bit of a challenge, and I don't know why we are on. Make sure. Oh, and there we are. On. Okay, I just got to turn on the volume. Hello, Mary Jane. Good to be. Glad to have you here. Joe Bud 90. Hello. Thank you for being here. And Michelle. Hello, Maria. Hello, Lisa Randall. Hey, here they are, my two sweet friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gail, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Guys, we've had Lisa, can you believe it's been a year since you've been on with
Has it
me?
been that long? Oh my goodness.
It's been that long.
Wow.
It's been that long. So here's the thing. Lisa and I met on the Tiki Talk. God, how many years ago was it?
Gosh, 3 or 4 years ago now, probably.
Yeah, you're right. And I loved her TikTok name on there. You okay with me saying it?
Of course.
Out the broom closet. I'm like, out of the broom closet and into my heart. See, now she can see me sing it. So, and I just say that all the time. Lisa and I started talking. We became friendly, and she came on a retreat, and she had some great ideas for my business. And I'm like, yes, you understand me. You get me. And let me tell you guys, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. There's a lot going on in here. And I think it's because it was born during a Mercury retrograde.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Honestly, because when the Mercury's retrograde, I'm good. Like people understand me better.
It's like the opposite of Friday the 13th for you. It's like when people have good luck with that.
Totally. Hi, Connie. Thanks for being on Instagram. And I know everybody but Delora. Everybody but Delora. Alan Jane, hello. Cousin Jody, hello. Ren, good to see you. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. So, barking on the truth.
Barking on the truth.
And so tell everybody a little bit. You have your best at explaining you because you do it so laser and so distinct, and you're like, boom, and everyone's like, wow. So
really putting me on the spot now.
You love doing what you do, and you were in business, right? You're in business, Fortune 500 business, and then you're also into all the woo-woo stuff. You're also into, you make soaps, right? Soaps and
candles,
and lotions and everything else.
Yeah.
So, and you're really attuned to the moon cycle.
Yes. And love witchiness. I've also started feeding the crows. So I have my sky puppies that I feed every day. I went to go pick up my youngest from school, and I get followed around the neighborhood by a murder of crows. So that's fun. Now I'm like extra witchy.
Crow lady. You're the crow lady. That's nice. That's good. So how did you, so for tonight, we're talking about transforming your work, getting to how you can, where work is not work, and finding your why, like finding your purpose. And I love, we both talked about it briefly about Simon Sinek about Start with why. Great book. And actually Jamie Williams hooked me onto that book. She's like, I love it.
Yes.
And I said, okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. So tell people how you started your first business, and now you are the founder of Juniper and Plume.
Yeah. So my very first business, I started at my dining room table. And within a year, I was paid to shut it down and start a new business. I had a national brand. We did insurance billing for construction companies. My investors were Pella Windows. They're a $3 billion, 90-year-old company. So I really learned very quickly, board meetings and all of that fun stuff. So, definitely trial by fire. And then, I've gotten into, I sold that company, and then I started consulting, and then I started another company during COVID where we did risk management for television and film. So I did a lot of COVID compliance, and I owned a medical lab, had like 75 employees internationally. It was a wild time. We brought in about $3 million in our first 14 months. And then, COVID went away. So I started doing consulting again and helping other entrepreneurs start their business. And my why, which we'll get into, is making sure that other business owners don't ever know what it feels like to have to shut their business down. So that is the thing that motivates me.
And if you're okay with me sharing this piece, it's a little personal, but I know that you're good.
Yeah.
And guys, through all this, Lisa lost both of her parents.
I did.
Through all this. And that was a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. Both of us being adopted, it's very different, everyone. And you went through the ringer, really, truly. I mean, your mom and you were super close, and then healing stuff with your dad, and then going through that whole business. And still 3 kids, a husband, a household, I mean, it was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah.
It was a lot. And then you got sick.
Yes. Yeah. I broke my back. And then I had endometriosis. So yeah, it was a rough few years. I had to shut my business down because COVID kind of changed on a dime, so all the restrictions went away. So I went from killing it to, oh my gosh, I suffered so much loss, just one after the other. So now it's on the comeback, and it was an experience that I would never want to experience, having to lose my parents again. That was awful. But, losing my business, it's made me that much better for my clients, because I know what it feels like. And that's why I don't ever want people to have to go through that. So whatever we can do to keep revenue coming in, I want to do for my clients.
You sent me something, and I'm going to read it so you can go right into it. So listen to this, everybody. We spend so much time chasing what we do that we forget why we do it. And when you were working with me, you're still working with me, but when you were asking me the why, it was like, I knew, like, I'm like, because of this and because of that and because of that. I have to tell you, 10 years ago, I didn't know why the why.
Yeah.
But it's so important. And let me just say this really quick. Hello, Sue, Dana, hello. Yay, another bird lady from Lisa Randall. Linda, good evening. Hello. Maria says, that's hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
Those are challenging times, totally challenging times. And thank you guys for still being here on Instagram. So go ahead and tell people, that's important.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's really important. We get in the habit of telling people what we do, right? We meet new people. We say, what do you do? Oh, so it's really easy for me to say, oh, I do digital marketing for small to mid-sized businesses, and I focus on AI and systems. But that's not, sure, it's the meat and potatoes of it, but that's not really the passion behind it, right? So, Simon Sinek, I have a total nerd crush on Simon Sinek. I adore him. He flips it and he says, listen, Apple, the brand that so many of us are chained to, right? They weren't selling phones. They weren't selling watches. They weren't selling computers. They were selling innovation. They were selling creativity. They were selling people to think outside and think differently, right? That was even their motto, I think, in the late 90s, was think differently. So they were selling this club, basically. They weren't selling computers, right? So it's about finding your passion and speaking your passion. So for me, like I said, my passion and my why is to help businesses thrive and to build legacy.
Yeah. I mean, look how succinct. Boom, 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 boom. And that's important. So I want to ask you guys that are on here, if you could, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? What is it? And some of you are still trying to figure out what the why is, and that's okay. It's okay. But what is the why? What is the why? Because that is it's important. And you had me, and I'm looking for it, and I have it right here. You had me do something that, who's my ideal client? What's that client avatar?
Yeah.
Avatar. And that is important to know, who are the people that you're talking to? Who are
Absolutely.
the people that are going to understand your why? Hi, Amanda. Good to see you. Hi, Joy.
Hi,
Maria
Joy.
says to provide a safe haven for family and friends.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And it's so appropriate in your personal life as well. It's, we're talking about business right now, but this isn't just about business. This is about your life too. So, we think that it's better to cast a wider net, right? I want to be everything to everyone. That's not possible. You're never going to be everything to everyone. You want to be as niche as possible, even in your personal life. So that way, the people that are in your life have great value, that you're giving great value and they're giving great value back for you, and you're similar, right? Like Lisa was saying, another bird lady like me. Like Lisa and I are good friends because we're so similar in so many ways, and we're very niche.
So she says, I know Yeoman too, to help people with no chemicals. Ren says, I do what I do for social change to make the community better through education.
Amazing.
Amanda says, to support people with chronic illness. Gail says, I care for family and friends. Right. And here's the thing, and please, I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm going to say this. And I know you all mean well when you're like, I want to be of service. Okay, that's great. But tell us more. Tell us more about, why do you want to be of service? What do you want? Why is the service important?
Well, right. And the thing is too, you also have to find that spark. It's great to be of service, right? I mean, everybody, like you said, everybody wants to be of service and you want to be helpful, but you're not going to be of service if there's not that passion behind it, right? So, for instance, today I was reminded of my passion. I worked all day today, but you wouldn't be able to know that I worked. It didn't feel like it. It's such a cliche, but it really was that way. And it was all me diving into spreadsheets and data and analytics. Like most people would be like, gross. But I'm going to sound very very stereotypical right now, but I was diagnosed with level 1 autism 2 summers ago. So of course I'm loving the analytics and the data, and it's like a Rubik's cube, and I'm like, oh, I love it. But I had a client that was working with another marketing professional, another web developer previously, and that person wasn't working out, so he parted ways and moved forward with my agency. And that person became like a class 1 hacker and was hacking into his website, crashed the whole thing. So I spent all day today trying to find the gap, trying to figure out through reports and everything. And I found it. And now he has a beautiful website that is fully functional. But it's those things that would have gone against my why, right? It would have been something that could have closed his business, without a functioning website. So that passion for me was like a dog with a bone. I had to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
So if you find that, that's very important.
And that's important. That's important. Lisa says, we are friends and I love you so much. That's Joy says, I do what I do because I can't find a way to get away from it. We love you, Joy. Service makes me feel good. Totally selfish reason. No, I think it's soulful. Soulful. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Lisa says, service to help those with lupus and autoimmune support. Okay. Amanda says, so much energy is given when someone comes into this world. People deserve the same amount of energy when they leave it. To play a part in that is so valuable to me. Well said.
So important. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Lori. Thanks for being here. So if someone comes to you, Lisa, and they say, I want to shift my work, I want to transform into my purpose. What would that look like? Like, how would you suggest them finding that? Because everyone's like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? When they asking me on a life coaching piece, that's one thing, because we can dive into what has hindered their purpose. But when they're asking me on a psychic level, I just want to know what my purpose is.
That's such a loaded question. That's
It is.
it's, you have to ask yourself, if if I were to go away, or my business were to go away, or, if I wasn't going to be functioning in society, what would be the gap that would be left? What would be the need that need to be fulfilled because I wasn't there? And pull at that thread first to figure out, what is that passion? Maybe it's performance. Maybe it is being a death doula. Maybe it is, and it's not even just the act of what it is, it's the why, right? You want to help people
Right.
transition with grace and dignity. Or you want to help someone with chronic illness, again, with dignity and support. Figuring out what that piece is, what lights you up, and then work backwards from there. So you find your why, the thing that lights you up, and then you work backwards into the how and then the what, right? So often, like I said, we have it on its head. We're saying, what do I do? And then I have the why later as some ancillary thing. Figure out the why, and then the how, and then the what.
And I don't think we do that. I think we figure out, I think when we deal with stuff, everyday stuff, I think people are just like, well, I want to know what you do and what is, so you're skipping a step.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So, okay, so for everybody that's on here, what would you say, because this is all about transforming the way that you see work or the work that you want to do. What would you say is the how to do what you want to do? The how to do what you want to do. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. So for instance, like Apple, we'll use that example again, right? So they were selling innovation, right? They were selling that piece of it. And then how was by marketing to people and giving them access to technology. And then the what was computers and cell phones, right?
Right.
So it was giving them the access to those things was the how. What's really important in remembering this is trying to be memorable, right? So attracting the right people into your life. People make decisions based off emotion, and then we rationalize it afterwards, not the other way around. We don't make rational decisions and then fill in the emotion afterward. We feel a pull to something. We feel an emotional draw to something. And then we put the supporting evidence into our minds after that to be like, oh, this was a good decision. My gut instinct said X, so I'm going to make everything match that. So the why tricks you into that. It tricks you into that emotional thing, and then also inspires other people around you.
And if I was to say to you, okay, that's great, but I'm a very small person with a very small I'm going to say a small business that is taking me to I just want to read people. If you were to talk to somebody with a spiritual business and they're like, well, we're in here because it's spirit led. You're going to get and I'm sorry, guys, I'm not offending anybody. I hope not. But when you get all the woo-woo answers that are light and airy, that's great. Because I think many people in this business, in the spiritual business, don't make it because they're missing that other piece. They're really good here with woo-woo and it's all up here, but it's not grounded down here.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody that is like, okay, but I just want to spread love and joy and energy?
Money is the same thing as like that oxygen mask on the plane, right? To be super cliche and say you have to be able to put the mask on you first. Money is not a bad thing. Having to charge people something for your service, you can still give love, but you need to survive as well. And unfortunately, we live in a society we need money to do that. So right. What I have found in the woo-woo universe is that people tend to think it cheapens what you're doing if you charge for it. So I think you have to first change your relationship with money and the way that you think about it, that it is an exchange of energy and not necessarily a bad thing. Like you're not cheapening what you're doing because you're charging for it. And you can still spread love and all of that, but you also want to niche down. Small is not bad. because you want to be niche, because you want to attract all of the right people. If you cast too wide of a net, you're going to have a lot of people kicking tires and just spending your time with people that aren't going to work with you.
So you bring up niche, and you've brought it up a couple times, and I'm
Yeah.
doing this because I know people are thinking this because I thought it too. So what happens if I say to you, well, Lisa, everybody's my niche. Everybody. I welcome everybody. Everybody. I don't care if they're like old or young or male or female, or they don't identify as any of those. It doesn't matter. Have them all come. Let them bring their grandparents and parents and their children and everybody.
You're not going to be for everybody. You're just, I'm not rated E for everybody. So when you do that, you are spending your energy on people that aren't meant for you, and they're just going to drain you. It is actually better to just be really specific. When we did the exercise together, Elias, you saw like how ridiculously specific I am with that, right? So do you have it in front of you? It's hilarious.
I do. Of course I do. So here's the interesting thing. Lisa had me have a person that I was thinking of, like, who's my ideal client? Well, really, I mean, yes, most of them are female. Go figure. Most of them are female. And most of them, not all of them, because I do get some of the younger ones, but most of them are 45 plus.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is
go ahead.
You want to have that passion, right? You want to have that spark. And so like when we were talking about it, it was just the reminder of, it's not just like who would work with you, it's who do you want to work with? Who feeds you? Like, are they doing the homework? Are they showing up to the calls? Are they paying on time? Are they, all of these things? If you could wake up tomorrow and every one of your clients was your ideal client, what does that look like? So that way it's not draining for you.
Right. And, I'm going to toot Connie Love's horn for a moment, because when I was in massage school, Connie was my teacher, and she said to us, she goes, you're not going to have everybody's not going to be a male that's coming in that's 6'2" and has back issues, and that's what you're going to work on. That's not realistic. You are going to have people that come to you that you and somebody else might do the same massage, you learn the same techniques, but they're coming to you for a purpose because of how your rapport is, or how you treat them, and that's the stuff. So you might say, oh, I want to work in, I'm going to just say Chicago, downtown Chicago, and those business people are going to be my people. What you're saying is business people are going to be my niche.
Mm-hmm.
These people are going to be my niche. If you wanted to work in Lincoln Park, which is, north of downtown, and you're saying, I'm working more with younger yuppies. Oh, look, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Woo! Celebrate. Okay. So we're gotta, but that's another thing. And I put in here, their core values are integrity, honesty, openness. They can't or don't know how to improve, and they want a need for improvement. They want a need for success, and that part is important. Many of you know that I'm on the TikTok, and I'm on the TikTok, and you know how crazy, Lisa knows how crazy it gets with Delora. Not short people, out of Native people. You're funny. So, because that would be you and I, Delora. That would be you and I. Thanks. Because we can't fit on the Ferris wheel. They won't take us because we're too short. I'm kidding. So the part that I feel is that each person comes in with their issue, right? They're on the TikTok, they're coming with their issue. Well, I just want to know, will this happen? Will that happen? When will that happen? Is that going to happen? They want the yes and no. I don't want the yes and no people. I want the people that are going to do the work.
Right. Well, and that's the other important thing too is putting the call out for people to find you, right? So you have to be really clear and specific. It's like manifesting. You have to be really clear and precise. So, when people are searching, I mean, think about what you do when you search for something. You're searching for a new doctor, right? You're going to look up, making sure they specialize in something, making sure that their bedside manner is a specific way. You're going to look up all of these things to see if you're a good fit. So people are finding you the same way, right? So you want to make sure that you're really specific on who you want to work with, so that person finds you on the correct journey.
Right. So true. Hey, Gabriella. Look at the whole gang's here. Hello. Does anybody have any questions? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Do you have questions about your business or starting your business, or how can I shift? Again, we're talking about transforming your business. Go ahead and put it in there. Now, I have to be careful how I say this. You worked for a very big company in the state that you live in, correct?
Yeah, I've done some work with them. Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think the big takeaway was there from learning from that company?
There is no compromise, right? And I mean that in the most positive way, right? If you want to work with them, you're going to do it exactly their way, and there is no negotiating. This is just how it is. So they are radically specific in what they want to do, but they're also radically successful because of it. There are very strict parameters around that. So I think that there's something to be gleaned from that. You don't become a multi-billion-dollar corporation without, learning some things along the way. And they're very, very, very specific, and there's a process for everything. So
yeah, that's interesting because excuse me, thank you. Going from here to all the way this side, and that's challenging. That is really challenging.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Sorry.
It's challenging because, we want us as energy workers, as simpaticos, as compassionate people. Oh, let's go ahead. And now that company that she's talking about, it's a big company in the state that Lisa lives in. That part of the state. Here's that part. This part. Anyway,
down the very, very south.
Here too. Yeah, they're over here and they're over here. Yep. So that part. Oh, they're actually like this. Really sorry. Like this on this side and like that on that side. So,
the southernmost peninsula. That's
how we're gonna say it. Lou Sunshine, hello, my friend. Thanks for being here. So I find it interesting because spiritual people, we want to be the compassionate one, and we're really kind of, a little loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey.
People want to be told what to do. They want to know the journey, right? So even when I'm building websites, you have to have a clear journey for the person when they go to your website. You can't just throw everything on there, and you have to make it about that person. Your website's not about you. Your website is about the person and their hero's journey. That's what your website is for. So when you're writing the content, it needs to be focused on what they're experiencing, what their struggles are, what they need to solve. It's nobody cares about you. Everybody cares. They care about themselves. What's in it for me, right?
Right.
It's like when you're looking people up, you're saying, how can this person help me? How can this solve my problem?
Exactly. And that's really true. Oh, that was really pretty. I'm seeing on Instagram me doing this now. That was not a good side profile, everybody. I was like, oh, Note to self: do not do that on the side. It was like, oh, okay. Look at Joy. Oh my. Okay. Do you think it's important to determine what success means to the business owner early in the process?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean it's tough to consult for people if you have two different ideas of what success is. It's like love languages. Some people care about the money, some people care about just the helping, some people care about the notoriety. And yeah, definitely measuring out what success looks like. I actually have a whole questionnaire that I have people fill out depending on, how we're going to work together. And that is one of the questions on there, like what what does success look like at the end of this? So that way we know what the goals are.
That's a good
Absolutely.
question, Dora. Good job.
Thanks,
Okay,
Dolores.
well then, yes, you are correct, my dear. Really? Yes, really, Lisa. Really, really. Apangu. Apangu. So, okay, so someone comes to you and says, Lisa, I am a psychic and a medium. I do tarot card work. I want to build a website, and it is all about, from what you're saying, this person's telling you, from what you're saying, it's about them. So I need to tell them what I'm going to do for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. What are you specializing in? How do you answer questions? What's your process? What does that look like? How have you helped other people? Social proof is really important. Um, and speaking, that's why it's so important that we figure out your avatar. We even name your avatar. We say, okay, my avatars are Sam and Chris. Sam, female Sam, and then Chris. And everything that I write is serving either Sam or Chris. Everything. So
Mm.
it's speaking the language, like this the slang that they use, or what's important to them, what they're looking up, what their end result is. Your TikToks. You're speaking to specific people in your mind. Not everybody. You're speaking to your specific people because you're trying to attract them, and you want them to keep watching your content and then eventually work with you. So you have to develop your entire persona based around those things. It makes it a lot easier to do it that way.
Which is something, not which is everybody, but which is uh which is a key. I mean, you said it so simply. It is a key of finding out who you are, the how to do it, and then the what they're going to get from it, what is important for them.
Yeah.
So even though I'm right now, for everybody that doesn't know, um with the retreat, it's very much about people pleasing, control freaks, um fixers, and perfectionists. And I've been really harping on that for about 4 months now. And my videos are leaning toward that because I believe, and we talked about it, that nobody teaches that if you don't work on your personal development yourself, you're not going to get those things like the intuitive piece.
Yeah.
It will be there here, but it's not going to be here.
You have to trust yourself, right? I mean, I use divination in my business all the time, but if I didn't trust myself or trust the process, I just had to make a really difficult decision to walk away from a client I've been working with for a long time because it wasn't sitting right in my spirit to continue working. And I pulled some cards, and the cards were like, girl, you got to go. You right. And we'll figure it out, and we'll make sure that you have revenue to replace whatever you're going to miss. And guess what? I made the decision to part ways amicably, of course. And the next day I got 2 phone calls from 2 new clients that I'm meeting with next week. So, you just have to trust the process, and you have to understand that sometimes you're going to make sacrifices to be true to your brand and true to what you're trying to do. But ultimately, you'll be rewarded for that because things will be so much less chaotic, and you're not going to be chasing your tail all the time. You have a specific message and specific people that you're trying to reach. And when you're not sure of what to do or what to say, you go back to, okay, who am I trying to talk to? And it makes it so much easier. I'm sure your content feels so much easier to generate out now because you know who you're speaking to, you know, like all your content where you're like, this is going to piss you off. And I'm like, yeah, I probably will. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it anyway. If it's going to piss me off.
Because I want to know why you're going to piss me off, right?
Yeah.
Or this might make you mad. Or what was another one? This might challenge you.
Mm.
You know, those are good. And they call those hooks, everybody. And what makes you stop when you're looking at a website? Is it a color? Is it the person's face? Is it because you've heard them talk before? I mean, we've talked about this, and I'm going to grab the book real quick.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? You were right here. Oh, because you're on the second shelf. Okay. Of course you're on the second shelf. Why would you be on the first shelf? This book.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. This is a really good book, guys. If you haven't followed Jefferson Fisher on TikTok or on Instagram, he's just amazing. Talks about how to have conversations with people. And one of them is, here's the thing about boundaries, right? Think about this. Thanks for the invite, but I can't. I'm just super busy right now. Sorry. Well, look what he did. He scratched out that part to just say, thanks for the invite, but I can't. Period.
Yep.
So saying no. Hi, Jen. Thanks for being here. And it's like what he says is broken down. There are two elements. There's gratitude. Thanks for the inviting me, followed by no. And he has such his niche, everyone, I would say, is the person that doesn't know how to communicate. Has boundary issues. And I would say that he talks to people that have been gaslighted, have narcissists in their family that always want to, or relationships, and always want to argue.
Yep.
And trap you into that argument. So guess what? You then become the jerk or fill in the.
Well, because you feel the need to over explain. So right. It's really hard to break yourself of over explaining. I've had to break myself of that. I'm Aquarius moon. I over explain all the time. So, it's a very hard skill to master. But it is very important, especially when you're trying to communicate a concept. Less is more oftentimes.
Yeah, it's challenging. Look at Delora, large print version. I know it's a large print version. That was the pre-order thing. I when I got it, I'm like, why is the print so large? And then I saw it on the side that said large print version. I'm like, really? Welcome to 60, everybody. Patricia says I have a boss like that. Yeah. You don't need to explain. I totally agree with that. Yep. Got it. Yep. Got it. Any other questions for Lisa about shifting? Is anybody working on getting their business going that they might need?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's so important right now, even just beyond your website. So something like 88% of people go to social media before they're even looking at someone's website. So if they're finding you like on Google, they're trying to find you on social media first because they have more of an idea of the essence of who you are from your social media before they even go to the website. So, and even now with AI, with search, AI is going to be completely taking over how, it's going to be interesting to see what Google does in response to this. But AI, it's not the same as it used to be, right? We used to go on and say, best pizza near me when we want to go out to dinner, right? And Google would give you a few options, right? Now you're saying, hey, ChatGPT, or Agnes, if you're Elias. I need a date night. My husband and I are going to go out to dinner tonight. We need a really good date night spot. You should have really good pizza and also some really great craft cocktails, right? So now ChatGPT is going in. They're looking at Google reviews. They're looking at social media. They're looking to see on Reddit if there's a menu listed somewhere, if somebody mentions craft cocktails. And then they're giving you, it's doing all of the research for you. So gone are the days of just having a pretty website. Now you really have to put the work in all of these different places. It's a much more holistic approach.
And that's challenging because you've talked about it and you told me that, hey, you need some of your YouTube things on your website. You need even some of your TikToks on a website. I'm like, really? I would have never thought of that. Patricia says, what if you're not a fan at AI at all?
So, but your people might be, right? So it's going to depend on who you're trying to attract. If you're trying to attract clients that also feel the way that you do and are against AI, then that's great. Then you're not going to be meeting them on AI anyway. But if there is a chance that the people that you're working with are going to find you on AI, you're going to have to make yourself visible on AI so you can meet your clients where they are.
Yeah, that's challenging too. And she says, and I'm in the tech and legal field.
Okay. It's interesting. I have a couple clients that are attorneys, and they're so funny. They never want to be found. I'm trying to even get one of my clients on Google Maps right now, and he's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Your clients can find you. They can just hit directions." He's like, "Yeah, but then people I don't want finding me are going to find me too." I'm like, "What?" Don't tell people I do your marketing then, okay? Because I cannot, in good faith, say that I did not put you on Google Maps and say that I'm doing marketing for you.
That's funny. Maria says, we're finally beginning to crawl out of the hole. I'm hopeful, and God, Universe Spirit is starting to put people in our path that can help us. That's lovely. I know you meant 2025 has been a bear of a year. Yep, I get it. I get it. She's laughing. That's good. Instagram, any questions for Lisa that you may have? So they can find you. And I'm going to, oops, there we go. They can find you here. Okay, it is Juniper and Plume.
JuniperandPlume.com. And if you click on the very top right, there's a button that says Get Started. If you have a current website, an online presence, you can actually pull a free report. It takes about 24 hours to generate. And you'll get a free report that shows your online presence, and it gives you grades. It gives you grades on your social media, on your website, on SEO, on advertising. So you get that within 24 hours. You get a full report on your online presence.
That's awesome. Is there a story behind your company name?
There is. Thanks, Delbora. Yeah, so Juniper is the Celtic version of sage. So I don't burn sage, I burn juniper when I'm trying to clear out a space. So I have juniper, we're going to clear out what you did before, and we're going to clear out all of that messaging that you had. And then plume is like writing with a plume, like a feather. So it's storytelling. So we clear out the old, and then we bring in the new story for the new chapter. So when people take a meeting with me, and we go over that report and we go over their online presence, I call it the prequel meeting. So it's like the chapter before the story starts.
I like it. I like it. Lisa says, oh, great. We get a grade. I won't pass.
Well, you get like 7 grades. So hopefully
7, Lisa. Patricia says, what if you have 2 different businesses you wish to grow, and you're deciding how to allocate your energies and resources? Well,
I would say, what are you most excited about? Because it's always easier to get up and start working on the thing that is fun. It's like my house was never cleaner than when I had a paper due for school. I found any reason to not have to write that stupid paper. I'd be like, oh man, I gotta reorganize under the stairs. Crazy. So, if you have 2 businesses, find what you're more passionate with and start there.
That's smart. That's smart. Dolores says, plays well with others. There you go. Actually, you love it. That's good. That's good. Well, guys, if you have more questions or you want to check out Lisa Wilson's website, you're going to go right there to juniperandplume.com, and Instagram. Again, it's juniperandplume.com. And take the little grade thing, take it, use it, figure out, and there's a way to contact you on there, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yep.
And then the most important question of the evening, brought to you by Delora. Well, Patricia says one is cerebral and the other is creative.
Ooh. Well, I'm more cerebral. So I'm a nerd that way. So I would lean in more cerebral, but the creative side, if you're more creative than that, I have a lot of friends that are much more creative than I am, and that's the direction that they want to go. So I don't know. I feel like intuitively, I feel like cerebral would be the way for you. I don't know. I'm just feeling it in my gut. I'm going to go with cerebral.
And see, this is totally different, right? I'm like, Patricia, I would say go creative. I'm like, we think about too much with our brains. What gives you great joy? How's that? What would give you great joy? And she's probably right. But go with what gives you great joy. I'm only doing that so she doesn't put a spell on me. I'm kidding. Now, the most important question of the whole evening, brought to you by This Is Why I'm Split. Yeah, okay, I got it. Most important question, brought to you by Delora. Lisa, have your crows brought you any gifts?
They have, actually. Really exciting. They have brought me some seashells. So I've come outside to seashells. Yeah, I mean, I live really close to the beach, so it's not a far fly for them. But yeah, right on my front steps, they leave me seashells, which is so fun.
Because Lisa Randall feeds her crows.
Yeah, I do too. I leave them. I spend more money on them than I probably do anything else. And then I have like a whole separate thing because the squirrels like to attack where the crows eat. So I have food. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so I feed them peanuts, and then I have like a whole wild bird mix that I do.
And when she was sick, her husband had to do it.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing. They yell at you. I'm telling you, I went to go pick up Penelope from school. My husband was with me, and they started flying and landing on the fence as we're walking down the sidewalk. And I was like, I know, when I get home, I promise, guys, I will feed you. I promise. And they are so loud. I'll be in meetings, and the little perch is right outside this window, and you could hear them yelling at me if I haven't fed them yet.
That's funny. That's funny. Lisa Randall says, yep, same here. And Patricia says they remember your face.
They do.
Fascinating.
They do.
Love it. Love it. Efthimia, hello, how are you? Kalispera. Did you get my message? Girl, do not text me that late at night. Even though, because last night I forgot to turn the phone off. So, but you got my message, I hope. Thank you. They are very loud. If you get, that's funny. You're in trouble. Yeah. Look at Amanda. I want crows.
It's really easy. You just have to be patient. It's like you just have to go out and feed them like every day for a couple of weeks. It takes them a little while to like pick up what you're laying down, but once they do, man, you can't get rid of them.
Can't get rid of them. We've got a bunch up in the trees here, and I was like tempted, and I'm like, oh no, because then Harry and Willow would not be happy. They would. I don't know how your dogs are.
Oh, they're fine with it. And I have 2 cats now. We got kittens for Penelope. So they like to sit in the window and watch the crows. And the crows kind of torment them a little bit, but it's fun. It's like huge. It's like a zoo at my house now. It's a little bit crazy.
I love it. Well, you are welcome anytime. Let's not make it a year.
No, I love coming on your podcast.
And next time we can talk about something a little more woo if you want. But I think it was important to talk about, not many people talk about transforming your work and doing it the proper way. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Remember, everybody, couple things. We've got 4 spaces left for the retreat in Chicago. And that is the Mind Trappers. That is perfectionist, people pleaser, control freak, and fixer. It's all on the website. We've got a Seeing the Signs talk about signs all over the place, but how can we see them differently? That is on the website. Go to eliaspatras.com and super soon, super soon. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Yeah, hey, remind me to tell you something. Um,
Okay.
I can even tell you on air, it's fine. But also super soon, super soon, I'm trying to get it. Um, the book cover has changed a little bit, everyone,
Mhm.
but this book, the very first one, is coming out. And what we did with the book cover, what the publisher did is they just focused just on the picture, and it's really super cool. So, Going Within to Heal is coming out soon. Can't wait to share that with you. It's 31 authors that got together, and super cool. So I'm excited about that. And then the next book, we're looking for authors for the next book. It's called Transformation: The Journey from Breakdown to Breakthrough. Lisa, what a great chapter. I'm sure you could write.
Mm,
Mm,
I
so
know nothing
sweet.
about that. What are you
Nothing
talking
about
about?
that. Actually, the book will just be called The Book of Lisa. That's all.
Is it like the Book of Job? No,
Yeah,
that is
the Book of Job, right. So, thank you, and, we appreciate you guys being here. Let me remove that so then you could see us better. And Lisa Randall says, "Love you both." Love you too, girl. Thanks. Thank you. You're welcome. Um, they have, to decide if you are worthy for real. Yep, I get it. I get it. Hello, Michelle Rubin. Good to see you. All right, guys, if you just popped on, watch the replay talking about business and how to transform it and, the why, knowing the why. All right, remember, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. From our hearts to yours, there is unity and community. Real talk, get real answers. Be well, everybody, and have a great evening. Don't forget to watch the outro because I really like it. So have a peek.